My stepfather told me to pack my crap and be gone by Friday after moving his girlfriend into the house I was raised in, but when I found a hidden will naming me co-owner, I walked back in with a folder that destroyed everything he thought he controlled. Do you ever have your whole world ripped out from under you? That's what happened when my stepdad threw me out of my own house. I'm Harper, 28, a graphic designer who thought home was forever. Let me take you back to how it all started, because honestly, I'm still piecing it together myself. I grew up in this cozy two-story house in a quiet Ohio suburb, the kind with creaky floors and a porch swing that squeaked just right. It was me and Mom, Grace, against the world. Dad passed when I was 6, so it was always us two. Mom was my rock, this warm, stubborn woman who'd burn cookies but nail chocolate cake every birthday. We'd have game nights, sprawl on the living room rug with Monopoly, laughing till midnight. That house wasn't just walls. It was her hugs, her humming in the kitchen, her telling me I could be anything. It was everything. About 3 years ago, Mom started acting different, tired, quieter. She'd brush it off, say it was just age, but I worried. Then she met Paul. He was this real estate guy, mid-40s, all slick smiles and cheap cologne. Showed up at her book club, charmed her with stories of flipping houses. I didn't trust him, something about how his eyes slid past me, like I was in the way. But Mom? She lit up. Makes me laugh, Harper, she'd say, her cheeks pink. I swallowed my doubts. She deserved happy, right? They got married fast, courthouse, no fuss. Paul moved in, his stuff crowding our space. He'd make these little comments like, "Harper, still crashing here?" with a laugh that didn't reach his eyes. I'd grit my teeth, tell myself it was fine. I was freelancing, saving up, planning to move out eventually. But that house was Mom's pride, her forever home, and I wasn't ready to leave her. Not yet. Then last spring, everything shattered. Mom had a heart condition, undiagnosed, sneaky. One night, she just... The funeral was a blur. Paul played the grieving husband, dabbing his eyes for the neighbors. I was too numb to call him out. After, I thought we'd figure things out, me and him, the house, Mom stuff. But 2 weeks later, he cornered me in the kitchen. I was washing dishes, still in Mom's old apron, when he leaned against the counter, arms crossed. "Harper," he said, voice flat, "you need to go." I froze, sponge dripping in my hand. "What?" "This ain't your place anymore. You're not my kid. Pack your crap and get out." I just stared. "Paul, this is Mom's house, my house." He laughed, this sharp, ugly sound. "Your mom's gone. I'm the husband. It's mine now. Be gone by Friday." Friday? That was 3 days away. I tried to argue. My voice shook. I was half crying. But he just walked out, like I was nothing. I stood there, water pooling on the floor, thinking, how could he do this? To me, to Mom's memory. It didn't feel real. I dragged my feet, hoping he'd change his mind. But Thursday night, I came home from a client meeting and there she was, Lisa, some hairstylist he'd been working with, all fake lashes and loud perfume, lounging on our couch. My stomach twisted. She smirked, said, "Oh," told me to hurry up. Lost it. "You're moving her in? Into Mom's house? Are you serious?" "Dead serious," he said. "Now move." I wanted to scream, to throw something, but what could I do? I grabbed a duffel, stuffed it with clothes, my laptop, Mom's old photo albums. My hands shook so bad I dropped half of it. Paul watched, didn't lift a finger. Lisa was already unpacking her junk in Mom's bedroom. Mom's bedroom. I saw her toss one of Mom's scarves in a box, and I swear I nearly lunged at her. Instead, I stumbled out, tears burning my eyes. I ended up at Zoe's, my best friend since high school. She's a barista, all heart, with this tiny apartment that smells like coffee and cat litter. I collapsed on her couch, babbling through sobs. "He took everything, Zoe. Everything." She hugged me tight. That jerk's gonna regret this, Harp, I swear. But I didn't believe her, not then. I kept seeing Lisa's car in our driveway, Paul's smug face. I couldn't sleep, couldn't work. I'd scroll my phone, staring at old pics of me and Mom. Her smile, our house. How was it gone? How was she gone? I felt like I'd failed her, like I let Paul erase us. Every time I drove by the house, because yeah, I did that like an idiot, it hurt worse. Lisa's tacky curtains in the windows, Paul's truck parked crooked. It was like they were rewriting my life and I was nobody. I kept asking myself, did Mom know he was like this? Did she trust him? I didn't have answers, just this hollow ache. I thought that was it, me, homeless, broken, stuck. But something in me wouldn't quit. Maybe it was Mom, whispering in my head, telling me to fight. Because a few weeks later, everything changed. I ran into Nora, Mom's old librarian friend, and she said something that flipped a switch. But that's for later. Right now, I was just Harper, kicked out, pissed off, and clinging to the only thing I had left. Memories of a home I thought I'd lost forever. I thought I'd lost everything. Then I found out my mom had my back, even from the grave. Couch surfing at Zoe's was rough. Her cat kept kneading my chest at 3 a.m, and I'd lie there staring at the ceiling, replaying Paul's voice, "Get out!" It wasn't just the house. It was Mom, our life, gone. I was a mess, snapping at clients, missing deadlines. Zoe tried to cheer me up, blasting music, shoveling coffee in my hands. "You're tougher than this," she'd say. But tough, I felt like glass, one tap from shattering. Days blurred together. Eat, scroll my phone, cry. I kept thinking about Lisa in Mom's bedroom, her tacky heels on our rug. Were they laughing at me, throwing out Mom's stuff? It made my skin crawl. I'd mutter to Zoe, "They're living our life." She'd nod, fiercely. "Screw them, Harp. You'll get it back." I wanted to believe her, but how? Then, one gray morning, I dragged myself to Zoe's favorite coffee shop. Needed air, needed to stop drowning. I was stirring my latte, zoning out, when someone said my name. Nora, Mom's old librarian friend, stood there, glasses foggy from the cold. She hugged me, soft and warm, like Mom used to. "Oh, honey, I heard," she said. We sat, and I spilled it all. Paul, Lisa, the house. Her face got tight. "Your mom was careful," Nora said, stirring her tea. "Always planning for you. Did you check her papers?" I blinked. "Papers? Like what?" I asked. She shrugged, vague. "Just things." Grace wasn't one to leave loose ends. It was cryptic, but it stuck. Loose ends? Mom was organized, kept every receipt, labeled every box. What did Nora mean? Back at Zoe's, I couldn't shake it. I grabbed my laptop, started digging through Mom's old emails. Felt weird, like snooping, but I needed something, anything. Most of it was junk, recipes, book club stuff. Then I saw it. A thread with some lawyer's name, Abigail Carter, from 2 years back. Subject, property docs. My heart jumped. "Peaceful," formal Mom asking about securing asset. No reply, just that one email. But it was enough. "Zoe," I yelled. She poked her head in, coffee mug in hand. "What's up?" I showed her the screen. Mom was planning something for me. Zoe's eyes lit up. "Told you, call that lawyer." Now, I hesitated. Lawyers cost money and my savings were thin, but Nora's words echoed, "Careful." Abigail answered on the second ring, voice crisp but kind. I stammered through my story, Mom's death, Paul's stunt, Lisa. She listened, didn't interrupt. "Can you come in tomorrow?" she asked. "Tomorrow?" I nearly laughed. "Yeah, sure." Zoe high-fived me, grinning. That's my girl. But I wasn't so sure. What if this was nothing? Another kick in the teeth? Next day, Abigail's office was small, cluttered with files. She was maybe 40, no nonsense, with a handshake that meant business. I told her everything, voice cracking when I got to Lisa's smirk. Abigail leaned back, pen tapping her desk. "Your stepdad's playing dirty," she said, "but we'll play smarter." "Any chance your mom left a will?" I shrugged, helpless. "I don't know. Paul never said." She nodded like she'd heard it before. "Let's dig." She pulled records. fast, like she lived for this. A few days later, she called me back. I was at Zoe's, sketching logos to distract myself. "Harper," Abigail said, "we've got something." My stomach flipped. "What?" She paused, and I swear I held my breath. "Your mom's will. It names you co-owner of the house. Paul's been forging papers to cut you out." Froze. "Co-owner? Me?" "You're kidding," I whispered. Abigail didn't laugh. "It's real. Grace signed it a year before she married him. Filed it clean." I sat down hard on Zoe's couch, head spinning. "Mom did this. For me. But Paul said it's his," I managed. Abigail's voice went sharp. Josie overheard, eyes wide. "What's she saying?" I put Abigail on speaker, and she laid it out. Mom's will was airtight, hidden in county records Paul didn't bother checking. He filed a fake claim, banking on me being too broken to fight. And Lisa? Abigail found texts, nasty ones, between them dug up from Paul's sloppy email trail. Stuff like, "The brat's gone, house is ours." I felt sick. They were laughing at me, living it up in our home. "You okay?" Zoe asked, hand on my shoulder. Was I wanted to scream, to drive to the house and tear it apart. "They thought I'd just disappear," I said, voice shaking. Abigail chimed in, calm but firm. "They're wrong. We've got him, Harper. He's done." Her confidence was a lifeline, but I was drowning in rage. Paul's voice, Lisa's smirk. They'd planned this. Before Mom was even cold. I hung up, staring at nothing. Zoe sat next to me, quiet. "What now?" she asked. I didn't know. Part of me wanted to barge in, wave that will in Paul's face. But Abigail's words stuck. "Play smarter." "I need to think," I said. Zoe nodded. "Whatever you do, I'm here." That night I lay awake, Mom's face in my head. She'd known Paul was trouble. She'd protected me, even when I didn't see it. "I won't let you down," I whispered, like she could hear. For the first time in weeks, I felt something besides pain, a spark, sharp and alive. Paul thought he'd buried me. He was wrong. He walked into my house and looked that snake in the eye. He wasn't ready for me. Abigail had prepped me for days. Stay calm, stick to the facts. But my hands shook as I clutched the folder with Mom's will. It wasn't just paper. It was her voice, screaming I belonged here. Zoe wanted to come, but I told her no, this was mine to do. Just me, him, and the truth. I didn't knock. Used my old key, heart pounding as the lock clicked. The living room smelled wrong, like cheap candles and Lisa's perfume. There they were, sprawled on the couch, some reality show blaring. Paul glanced up, annoyed, then froze when he saw me. Lisa sat up, eyes narrow. "What are you doing here?" she snapped, like I was the intruder. I didn't answer her, looked straight at Paul. "We need to talk." My voice sounded steadier than I felt. He smirked, leaning back, arms crossed. "Got nothing to say, kid. Told you to stay gone, kid." That word burned. I wanted to yell, but Abigail's advice echoed, "Don't let him rattle you." I set the folder on the coffee table, slow, deliberate. "Read it." He didn't move, just scoffed. "What's this? Some stunt? You're pathetic." Lisa laughed, high and fake, tossing her hair. I ignored her, kept my eyes on him. "It's Mom's will. I'm co-owner." "You lied." His smirk faltered. "Just for a second, but I saw it. Gotcha." He grabbed the folder, flipped it open, scanning the pages. Lisa leaned over, whining. "What's she talking about?" I didn't wait for him to twist it. "Mom named me co-owner years ago. You forged papers, Paul. Thought I wouldn't find out." My voice cracked, anger slipping through. He slammed the folder down, face red. "This is fake. You think you can waltz in with some crap document and take my house?" "My house?" I laughed, sharp and bitter. "Your house? You stole it. From me. From her." Lisa stood, hands on hips. "You're crazy. Get out." I turned on her, and she flinched. "You knew," I said. "Those texts? Calling me the brat?" You're in this up to your neck." Her mouth opened, then shut, eyes darting to Paul. He was pacing now, muttering, "This is bullshit." I stepped closer, voice low. "It's over. I'm taking back what's mine." That's when he snapped, got in my face, yelling, spit flying. "You've got nothing, no proof, no chance. I'll burn this before you touch it." I didn't back down, even though my heart was hammering. "Go ahead," I said. "Abigail's got copies, county records too. You're done." His eyes widened, like he hadn't expected that. For the first time he looked small, cornered. Lisa grabbed her purse, voice shaky. "I didn't sign up for this, Paul." She was halfway to the door when he shouted, "You're not going anywhere." She didn't look back, just slammed it behind her. I almost felt bad for her. Almost. Paul wheeled on me, desperate now. "You think you're smart? You'll regret this." I was done with his threats. All the hurt, the nights crying at Zoe's, the way he'd erased Mom, it poured out. "Regret it?" I said, voice breaking. "You stole her life, Paul, her home. You moved your girlfriend into her bed before she was even cold. You don't get to play victim." I was shaking, tears hot on my cheeks, but I didn't care. This was ours. You don't belong here. He stared, mouth working like he wanted to hit back, but nothing came out. I saw it then, the crack in his armor. He wasn't some mastermind, just a greedy bully who thought I'd roll over. Abigail had warned me he'd fight dirty, so I played her card. "My lawyer's ready to file tomorrow. Fraud, theft, forgery. You want that fight? Bring it." He sank onto the couch, head in his hands. "You're heartless," he muttered. Heartless? After everything? I wanted to laugh, scream, something. Instead, I picked up the folder, voice steady now. "You've got till the end of the week. Get out." I walked out, legs wobbly, leaving him there. The door clicked shut, and I leaned against it, gulping air. Did that just happen? Outside, I called Abigail, words tumbling. "I did it. I showed him." She was calm, all business. "Good. He's rattled. We'll push hard now." I nodded, even though she couldn't see, but as I drove to Zoe's, the high faded. I'd won the round, but it didn't feel like winning. The house was still theirs, Lisa's junk, Paul's stink. Mom wasn't there. Why did it hurt so much? Zoe was waiting, pizza box open. "Spill," she said. I told her everything, voice raw. She hugged me tight. "You were a badass, Harp." I half smiled, but my chest was heavy. "Then why do I feel like crap?" She didn't answer, just passed me a slice. I ate, staring at nothing. Paul's face kept flashing, angry, then scared. That night I dreamed of Mom. She was in the kitchen, humming, flour on her cheeks. "You doing fine, baby," she said. I woke up crying, Zoe's cat purring against me. Fine, maybe not yet, but I'd faced him, stood my ground. It wasn't everything, but it was something. Paul thought he could break me. He didn't know I was just getting started. I didn't just take my house back. I took my life back. After that showdown, I was wired, like I'd chugged Zoe's espresso. But Abigail kept me grounded. "We're not done," she said over the phone, voice steady. "He'll squirm. Let's finish this." Finish it. Those words lit something in me. Not rage anymore, but focus. Paul thought he could outsmart Mom's plan, outsmart me. Time to prove him wrong. Abigail was a machine. She filed motions, pulled records, built a case tight as a drum. Fraud for Gorgon, Paul's lies were a house of cards, and we were the wind. I sat in her office, watching her flip through papers. "He claimed full ownership," she said, pointing at his fake filing. "But your Mom's will predates his marriage. It's ironclad." Court was set for a Tuesday. I barely slept the night before, pacing Zoe's tiny living room. Her cat trailed me, meowing like he knew. "What if he wins?" I muttered. Zoe, half asleep on the couch, groaned. "He won't. You've got this." I wanted to believe her, but my stomach churned. Paul's smirk haunted me. Him thinking he'd still come out on top? The courtroom wasn't like TV. No big drama, just a tired judge and bad lighting. Paul showed up, no lawyer, looking smug in a cheap suit. Lisa wasn't there, guess she'd cut her losses. Abigail presented our case. Mom's will, the co-owner clause, forged claim. I sat, hands clenched as she laid it out calm and sharp. Paul tried interrupting, stammering about his rights. The judge shut him down, eyes narrow. Let her finish, sir. When Abigail showed the texts, Paul and Lisa plotting, calling me names, the judge's face went hard. I felt a weird mix of vindication and nausea. They hated me that much? Paul stood, voice loud. She's lying. That's not mine. But Abigail slid another document across, email logs, his signature. He sank back, silent. I stared at him, waiting for another outburst. The judge ruled fast. Property reverts to co-owner status, he said, voice flat. Defendant vacates by week's end. My breath caught. Week's end, that was it. Abigail squeezed my arm, a quick smile. Paul didn't look at me, just grabbed his jacket and bolted. I sat there, numb. We did it, I whispered. Abigail nodded. You did. I drove by the house that night, couldn't help it. Paul's truck was there, but boxes were piled outside. I didn't stop, didn't gloat, didn't need to. Zoe texted me a string of party emojis, but I wasn't ready to celebrate. Not yet. I didn't care where he landed. He was out. Walking back into the house felt surreal. Lisa's junk was gone, but so was Mom's warmth. The air smelled stale, like betrayal. I stood in the kitchen, touching the counter where we'd rolled dough together. This is ours again, I said, like Mom could hear. I didn't cry, though. Zoe came over, hauling paint cans. New start, right? She said, grinning. We painted the living room sage green, Mom's favorite. I dug up her old garden, planted roses where weeds had choked it. My hands got dirty, blisters forming, but it felt right. This wasn't revenge, not the loud, showy kind. I was building on Mom's. Abigail checked in, all business. Title's clear now, you're set. I thanked her, voice thick. Couldn't have done it without you, she laughed, soft. Your mom made it easy? That stuck with me. Mom had made it easy. Her will, her fight. I kept finding her in little things, a recipe card tucked in a drawer, her handwriting saying, Harper's favorite. Each one was a tether, pulling me back to who I was. One night I sat on the porch swing, stars bright overhead. Zoe was there, sipping lemonade. You good? She asked. I thought about it, really thought. Paul was nothing now, a bad memory. Lisa, too. The house was mine, legally, fully. But it was more than that. Yeah, I said, slow. I'm good. Not perfect, not healed, but good. I kept fixing the place. New curtains, Mom's old quilts aired out. Neighbors stopped by, curious. Heard you got it back, one said, smiling. I nodded. Didn't spill the ugly details. Didn't need to. They saw the roses blooming, the lights on again. That was enough. Looking back, I didn't need Paul to hurt like I had. I needed this, my home, my roots. He'd tried to erase me, but he didn't know Mom's strength. Didn't know mine. I wasn't angry anymore, I was free. The house wasn't just walls, it was me, standing tall, saying, you don't get to win. And he didn't. I used to think I'd lost it all. Now I know what home really means. The house was mine, again. But it wasn't the same. Not at first. It felt too quiet, like it was waiting for something. I walked the rooms, touching Mom's old things. A chipped mug, her quilt on the couch. Each one stung, but they also grounded me. This was my place, my fight won. So why did I still feel half empty? Zoe kept me busy. She'd show up with coffee and bad ideas like, let's throw a rager. I'd laugh, shake my head. I didn't want loud. I wanted life back in these walls. One day, I found Mom's sketchbook. Doodles of flowers, notes about teaching kids art. She'd always dreamed of opening the house to people, sharing what we had. I started small, hung a flyer at Zoe's coffee shop, free art night, bring a friend. Thought maybe a few people would come. That first evening, the living room was packed. Neighbors, kids, even Nora with her shy smile. We sprawled on the floor, paints everywhere, laughing over messy canvases. A little girl grinned, holding up her lopsided It grew from there. Art nights turned into book clubs, then potlucks. People brought casseroles, stories, music. The porch swing creaked under new weight. Kids running through the garden I'd replanted. I wasn't as rich. Freelancing kept me afloat barely. But I didn't need much. This was enough. More than enough. Zoe called it the community hub. Teasing, but she was right. I didn't think about Paul much. Heard he was scraping by, bouncing between rentals, his old charm gone. Lisa was a ghost too. Someone said she'd moved out of state. I didn't wish them pain. Didn't need to. They'd built their own mess. Me? I was too busy building something better. Abigail checked in sometimes, always quick, like she was allergic to downtime. "You're good?" she'd ask. I'd smile. Nora became a regular, bringing library books and quiet advice. One night we sat on the porch, stars bright, air cool. She handed me a tea, said, "Your mom be no, so." I started sketching again, not just for clients, but for me. Filled Mom's old sketchbook with flowers, faces from art nights, the swing at dusk. It wasn't about perfection, it was about feeling. Zoe caught me at it once, grinned. "You're back, Harp." Back. Maybe I was, not the same, but stronger, like a bone that heals tougher. One evening, alone in the kitchen, I found Mom's recipe card, chocolate cake, her messy scrawl. I laughed, tears pricking. "Okay, Mom," I said, grabbing flour. I baked, fumbled the icing, ate a slice still warm. It tasted like birthdays, like her. I sat there, fork in hand, and realized I wasn't fighting anymore. Not Paul, not the past. I was living. I thought about what I'd learned, what it all meant. Mom hadn't just given me the house, she'd given me fight. That will, her careful plan, it was her saying, "You're enough." I hadn't seen it then, too lost in grief, but I did now. Home wasn't just these walls or her things. It was me, standing up, choosing to keep going. Paul couldn't take that. No one could. Zoe dragged me to a farmer's market one weekend, her arm looped through mine. We wandered, eating kettle corn, dodging kids with sticky fingers. She pointed at a pottery stall. "Get something new," she said. I bought a small vase, blue like Mom's eyes. Back home, I set it on the windowsill, filled it with roses from the garden. It felt right. New mixing with old, like I was stitching my life together. The house kept filling up. Neighbors left cookies on my porch. Kids drew chalk suns on the driveway. I wasn't alone anymore. Abigail swung by once, rare for her. "Looks different," she said, eyeing the painted walls. I shrugged, smiling. "Feels different." She nodded, like she got it. "You're tougher than you look," she said, and left before I could reply. I laughed. Maybe I was. Nights were my favorite now. I'd sit outside, swing creaking, sky wide open. Thought about Mom a lot. Her laugh, her stubborn streak. I missed her every day, but it wasn't just pain anymore. She was here, in the roses, the laughter inside, the way I kept going. I'd been so scared I'd lost her, lost me. But I hadn't. I'd found something new, something mine. I didn't need Paul to hurt. Didn't need Lisa to fail. I needed this. People. Purpose, a life I chose. The house was full again, not with stuff, but with meaning. I'd fought for it, not to win, but to honor what Mom built. And maybe to build something for me. One night, Zoe sprawled on the couch, flipping through my sketches. "You're okay now, right?" she asked, eyes soft. I looked around. The vase, the quilt, the hum of life. "Yeah," I said, and meant it. Really okay. Not perfect, not finished. But okay was enough. It was everything. If this hit close to home, hit subscribe, drop a comment, and let's talk. I'm here. And I listen.